The Champions Club Room is a gathering spot for Friar season ticket holder, faculty, staff, and alumni to join head coach Susan Robinson-Fruchtel before 4 select games for a scouting report on the opponent. Friar fans can socialize while watching a video of the team highlights prior to heading to Alumni Hall to cheer on the Friars. Through their partnership with Marriott International, they have established one club room a year as the Marriott Champions Club Room. Marriott has invited employees, customers, and loyal Marriott members to join in on the fun and excitement of Friars basketball with this club room sponsorship.
Well, this is our theme for this year, demand more. Okay, thanks for sporting that. That looks good. But our team is demanding more. We're demanding more of ourselves. And, we ask you to do the same. We ask you to do the same. Everybody know Yoda? Yeah. All right, there is no try, only do. All right? There is no try, only do. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to do. All right? But thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. Get all the crowd. Okay? And we're going to go Friars on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go Friars! Thank you.
The Friars won that home opener on November 18th versus Brown, 78-69, led by Sarah Beals 24 points and 6 assists. Senior Tori Rule added 20 points, while Chanise Baldwin hauled in a career-high 13 rebounds and contributed 9 points. I'm joined now by the athletic director of the Providence College Friars, Mr. Bob Driscoll. Bob, thanks for coming on the show today.
My pleasure, Nick.
So it's in the 3rd year of Coach Susan and her staff at the women's basketball team. How do you think the program has been progressing so far?
Nick, I think we're right on track. It takes about 4 years before, you get all the recruits that you've gone after. But I think all aspects of the program are really in really good shape, whether it's the renovation of alumni gym, the new locker room, the good recruits they have, increase in staff. Certainly the new league that we have is a great fit for us as well. So I'm very, very happy with where we are right now.
And not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but what vision do you have for the program in the coming months and years?
Well, my vision, Nick, is the same as it is for all of our programs, and particularly women's basketball, is to, win a Big East championship and make it to the NCAA tournament and make it as far as we can. And I really think that's possible. Susan's a great teacher and a great coach, and was successful previous to coming to Friartown. And I think with the new Big East, there's no reason we can't be a top 3 program year in and year out and win the Big East championship just like the men did.
And to get a little bit personal here, what does Friartown mean to you and being the leader of this athletic department here?
Well, Nick, it's really an honor and a privilege to be the athletic director here. It's the culmination of, a 40-year career. What I wanted to be as a young person was a teacher and a coach, and now I've been able to do this at a Division I level and get to teach and coach and be a mentor to my student athletes and coaches, and it's an opportunity to really give back. And my vision for the program, our vision, is to create the model program or the most respected program in the nation, and you graduate our student athletes and compete for championships, and I think we're making great progress.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. He's Mr. Bob Driscoll. Thank you,
Nick. Appreciate it.
Now let's send it to Chris.
Thank you very much, Nick. The Hoop Scoop, of course, is on the road. We're in Dayton, but welcome back, and welcome back to the floor. Chanise Baldwin, I know so many of us in Friartown missed you over the last year while you were out with injury. What was more difficult, the physical or the mental side of being away?
Honestly, I think it was both. They kind of go hand in hand. Like, first, the rehab that I had to do, it was like, I did it, and once I was done with my rehab, like, that physical part of that was really hard, but once I got back on the floor, it was like the mental things now. It's like, now I had to take great shots and not worry about my leg giving up on me, so then that's where the mental aspect came in.
Now, physically speaking as well, were there times last year, especially towards the end of the season, where you're thinking, wow, there's so few players on the roster and they could need me and I feel ready to go, but you just still had to be held back because of the full red shirt?
Yeah, it was a lot of times, because towards the end of the season we lost a lot of players, and we had a lot of injuries and we were down. I remember one game in particular, I remember everyone was in foul trouble, and it was to the point we only had 2 people on the bench that could sub in for them. I'm like, yo, I'm going to have to put my jersey on. But yeah, it was really hard because I knew my team kind of needed me.
Now that you're back, what did you miss about it most?
Just the energy and the emotion. I play with a lot of passion, and I'm in the other team's head, like I'm talking. I really missed that, and I kind of forgot how much I missed it.
What do you think you still need to work on in the sense of being back to where you expected you would be when you first got here as a senior?
I think I'm a little bit too emotional. Like if my shot's not falling, I stop shooting. But that's really what I need to work on, because I got to keep shooting. You just got to keep shooting.
Well, it's terrific to have you back. You said to me before Game 1 in Richmond that I haven't said your name on the radio in a year, and that's true, but I'm saying it an awful lot now because you're playing terrific.
All right, thank you.
Her head coach, Susan Robinson-Fruchtel, will be with me when we return to the Hoop Scoop. And we're back again on the Friar Hoop Scoop, joined now as promised by Friar's head coach Susan Robinson-Fruchtel. Coach, this is the third road trip of the season, so to speak, second real one, where buses involved and airplanes are involved. For some of the younger players, what's the adjustment like for them? Is it easy to go into this like the business trip that it is?
We all wish it was. However, there's a definite learning curve. Some handle it better, more quickly than others, and that's what defines probably their playing time in a lot of respects. How can the younger players adjust to the college travel schedule? Where you have to study in airports, in the plane, to get some naps in when you can. We actually try to schedule those a little bit. But trying to get your bodies, ready and alert when you're on the road. Just because it's, not quite as comfortable. Everybody knows it's more comfortable at home. That's every team in America faces that. But it's something I think we definitely have to improve upon.
It's interesting that you bring that up. How do you balance the difference between knowing that your program's philosophy is to enrich these young women's lives and show them a better world and give them a chance, academically speaking, but college basketball is a zero-sum game and it's wins and losses. How do you balance that, especially when you have them on the road? They need to sleep.
Well, I think I'm constantly trying to teach life lessons, no matter if it's on the road or at home. That's just something I want my program to be about. I was taught so many life lessons from my coaches in high school, in college, and it's really helped me kind of get through anything, whether it's a family situation or tough opponents. You maybe have lost a couple games in a row where you have to persevere. And you have to be disciplined, you have to persevere, you have to stick to your commitments. And those are things that I'm trying to teach these kids, because that will, as we all know, that will go well into their future. And I think they'll look back. I tell them, call me when you're 30. Call me when you're 30, because if you don't agree with me out here at this time, sometimes that's understandable. But call me when you're 30, you're probably a lot closer to my thinking.
Now, finally, what's your barometer on the young season so far? What do you like from your team, and what do you think that you need to improve upon?
I think our defense has improved, and that has been our main focus, honestly. Our offense has come a little slower, and we changed both this year. We went more pressure defense. We changed our offense to a more of a motion offense. As a coach, I know it's difficult to change both in 1 year. However, we feel now we have more pieces. And going forward with our class coming in next year, we'll have really most of our pieces, and then you just keep recruiting to the system. And this is stuff that we will run hopefully for years going forward.
Well, demanding more and providing more. Thank you very much, as always, for joining us.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Friars head coach Susan Robinson-Fruchtel. It's the Friar Hoop Scoop, and right now we'll send it back to Nick and the world headquarters in Friartown.
Thanks, Chris. The Friars will be home for the holidays as they spend 5 of their 7 games in December in Providence, Rhode Island, with only 1 of their road games outside of driving distance. Some of the bigger games include going up against interstate rival Rhode Island on the 7th at 2 p.m. The Friars will escape the cold when they go down to Fort Myers, Florida for a game against Florida Gulf Coast on the 11th. Towards the end of the month, they play their regional rival Boston College on the 28th at 1 p.m. And the Friars finish off 2014 on Tuesday, December 30th at 7 p.m. at home against St. John's. Everywhere you go this month, you can follow the Friars on Facebook and Twitter. Stay updated with the latest posts, pictures, and videos all season long.
Hey, Friar fans, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next month. And as always, go Friars!